Captain, you and I have been through a lot together when it comes to combat sports. You've been playing this whole SCA thing to me, and one thing you told me, you can't grapple. You can't use your hands. So what do you fight with?
Well, we fight with weapons, of course. I obviously have to replace the garden hose, and when I'm using this shield, I'm going to be fighting with this, which is a single-handed sword. This is the basic emblem of medieval armored combat.
This thing's got a lot of weight to it. This is probably what you say, Captain, close to 10 pounds?
More like 8 pounds, yes.
8 pounds? Okay. So yeah, definitely, I can see this being very awkward if you're not used to holding something like this up in battle. If you have a pair of dumbbells or something laying around, grab an 8-pound dumbbell, hold it up like this, and just see how that feels, and try to walk around with it.
Which is why we design it to work ergonomically with your body. So now rest your elbow into your hip. All right? And now just bend your knees like you're in a fighting stance. And you'll notice how this corner is going to protect your head. This corner is going to protect your leg by simply twitching your hand up or down. Just don't lift your arm, just twitch your hand. See?
Okay,
just like that. Yeah. While that shield is heavy, the sword itself is not. This is only about 2 or 3 pounds. Because think about it.
Go.
If you're going to be swinging a sword all day, you don't want to be swinging something that's heavy and awkward.
Not at all.
I want to see what it's like to fight with a sword and a dagger. It could happen, and it's fun. The great sword. This, in many ways, is the most beautiful of fighting forms in that it requires a good degree of balance and coordination to move this heavy and elegant weapon around properly.
Would this be like the equivalent of, say, like a barbarian sword, or what sort of sword would it be?
Actually, barbarian swords that you see in the movies probably didn't exist.
Okay.
This is closer to something like a German Zweihander from the 1500s or later. This part of it is not a blade, so I can grab it here. The pole arm, it's sharp on the back of the front, and it has a spike on the side, a spike on the end, and a spike on the other end. So this is basically your medieval can opener. I can hook the shield and pull it down, and then come back in your face. From a distance you can thrust, you know, or come down with the spike or the blade from far out. Then when you close the distance, butt spike into the chest or the face. When you're jockeying for position here, because I can choke up all the way to the blade, bam! Whoa, I can take you out right there. You can grab your opponent's weapon anywhere the weapon can be grabbed. So you could grab my polearm, for instance, thereby controlling it and preventing me from doing things that I want. I'm perfectly legal to grab your weapon as well. But it's illegal to hit somebody who's not holding a weapon, so if I lose control of my weapon and do this, fight stops. I'll take my weapon back.
Okay.
Fight stops in a tournament. However, in a melee, that's not the case. If you drop your weapon, the weapon's dropped. There's 100 other people on the field. We're still fighting.
At that point, it's every man for themselves.
Well, hopefully every man for the team they're fighting for.
For their team.
All for one and one for all, as it were.
There we go.
Some people hold their greatsword like this, inverted, and fight with that as a defense while swinging their sword. Well, they can still thrust with the thrusting tip of the sword at the same time. Sometimes, just to be really silly, is I'll take a dagger and a greatsword. Okay. Now, my maximum range is all the way out here, of course.
Yes.
But my more effective range is right in here, thrusting to the face, thrusting to the body. Some people think that fighting with sword and shield is like a battleship. You're able to move slowly and defend yourself and pick your shots. This would be more like a machine gun on a jet ski.
Sounds fun.